fucking David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So yesterday I went to the barbecue over at Andrew, the fucking Australian listener's place, and I can tell you what, he is living in a fucking pad. And it's not even that expensive. It's like 77,000 rupees a month, which is the equivalent of 1,500 Australian dollars or like $1,000 US. And I'm talking like huge fucking house. I'm talking a gate at the front, a driveway, a huge fucking garden out the front where there's trees and all sorts of shit. 2-story, 4 big, like a huge fucking house. 77,000 rupees. So $1,000 US. It's actually less than $1,000 US. $1 is actually 82 rupees. So you're talking about $950 US for a fucking mansion. Admittedly, he is getting a good fucking deal, but I'm talking anywhere in Sydney, anywhere in Australia this house is, it's worth between $4 and fucking $20 million. For $950 a month, you can save that. That's $12,000. You can save $12,000 and then just go to India for a year and live in a mansion. And that's still on the fucking high end. If you went to Goa, you could get a house on the fucking beach, and Goa is unreal. It's one of the true fucking great places in the world. Everything's cheap. There's beaches everywhere. There's cool places. It's fucking cool. But you could go to Goa and live a lavish fucking lifestyle for like $8,000 a year, just rent, and then expenses, let's say another 10 max. Like if you don't drink, smoke, eat sugar, or beat off, then you're going to be able to live pretty cheaply. Me and Andrew were talking about it. He's like, yeah, I'd love to fucking retire in Goa. And Goa had always been in the back of my mind, but I'd never fully thought about it. But Goa, you could not retire in a better place than Goa. It has everything. It's got fucking low-key beach vibes. It's got full-blown fucking party if you want to go. I was getting double-shot gins for $1 and a beer for $1. The whole time I was in Goa, that was about 4 or 5 years ago. And I just fucking smashed it too. So you can really live cheap out there. But yeah, Andy and his missus have got the fucking setup going there. He's originally from Sydney as well. And he's like, I don't know if there's a path back to Sydney for me. Like, how can I leave this and go back to Sydney and live in a shitty, like, 2-bedroom apartment? I'm like, with great fucking difficulty. That's how you do it. It's all about figuring out how you can retire, isn't it? I don't know how much more retired I want to be. I'm pretty much retired. I'm pretty much retired already. This isn't enough for me. I need to get even more retired. Once I've got no commitments, no fucking work, nothing to do, I'm just a blob on a fucking bed with absolutely no reason to wake up in the morning. That's going to be my bliss. When I have absolutely zero purpose. That's like the full circle. Having zero purpose is just as enlightening as having like full purpose. Zero purpose is like you're so close to enlightened you don't even need to move. If somehow you can figure out how to completely stop breathing and stop your heart from beating and your blood circulating, then you could really do some relaxing. It's so exhausting having your heart beating all the time. Anyway, had a good time. Barbecue was good. It's fucking cool meeting the listeners. I enjoy it. But I also can't wait till there's just too many to meet up with. Like, it's cool to have one listener in Bangalore, but I would much prefer to have so many people in Bangalore emailing me to want to catch up that I can just ignore everyone. That's the ideal. Anyway, it's fucking Monday. Let's move on to the point of Monday. It's Ask Boyle time. So if you have a question and you would like to access one of the greatest minds of this or any other generation, comedian, philosopher, Karani Le Boyle, then head to my website. It's boylecomedy.com. There's a section there. You'll fucking see it. If you can't figure out Ask Boyle, where the button is, I can't fucking help you. So if you want to write in, use the Ask Boyle button. If you want to use your voice Use drunk dial. I've said this fucking a million times, so figure it out. Anyway, let's get to this week's question. So this week's question was sent in by a long-time listener, one of the fucking true degenis. He's been around for a while. Young kid over there in the USA, fucking Shrive Dog, Matty, the Shrive Dog Shriver. So Matty's question is this. Based on the recently added Boyle Reflex, which I didn't do on Sunday, but I'm going to do on Tuesday, so I don't want to hear any fucking shit from you cunts. So, based on the recently added Boyle Reflex, which I'm probably just going to fucking change to Reflections, because I already have too many fucking Boyles this, Boyles that. Boyle Breaks History, Ask Boyle, Boyle Reflex. It's too much Boyle. Enough. Anyway, let's get back to the question. Where, based on the recently added Boyle Reflex, the beginning wasn't too smooth riding, as one may think it was. Alright, that's fucking sounded retarded. Based on the recently added Boyle Reflex, the beginning wasn't so smooth riding as one may think it was. Alright, it wasn't me. You are retarded. You describe it pretty harshly as being depressed and basically withdrawing from anything that brought you happiness. How did your family react to this period of time? And has there been a noticeable difference in how your family treats you now, almost 4 years into sobriety and 30 days into quitting alcohol? Well, Shrivey D, you have come to the right place. So that question made virtually no sense. So I'm going to decipher what I think you were on about. So you want to know how my family reacted to that period of time. And you want to know if there's a noticeable difference between how the family treats me now at 4 years sober as opposed to when I was just 30 days sober. All right. That's pretty much what you said. That's me being retarded now. So it's 1-1. Look, I wasn't like a fun drunk at the end. I would have flashes of brilliance, but on the whole, I was just a nightmare to fucking deal with. My wife would have almost an anxiety attack every time I started drinking. She was like, it's just too much now. I'm like, hey, shut up. Shut up, pass me a beer. So it really didn't matter how fucking depressed I was or withdrawn I was or whatever. It was still an improvement to drunk me. But that doesn't last forever. You need to continuously be improving yourself. That's what it's like being in a relationship. You have to continuously fucking upgrade yourself. If you're like stagnant at any point, you're fucking done. In a relationship, it's fucking insane. You make it like some sort of like progress, and then you'll rest on your laurels for like 10 minutes or like 3 years, whatever. And then your missus will just be on your case, which she needs to be, because you will just fucking rest on your laurels for the rest of your life because you're a fucking piece of shit. Seriously. And if you don't improve yourself or progress or evolve as a person, you stagnate, and then you just become like some lovable loser type character to your partner. Yeah, he's a loser, but he's our loser, sort of. We all hate him. So you got to stay on the ball. You got to keep moving. Which brings us into your next question. What's the difference between how my family treat me at 30 days and how they treat me now? Well, at 30 days, I was like stagnant. I was a crane operator. I was actually a dogman, which was bringing in some money, but who gives a fuck about that besides most people? Who gives a fuck about bringing in cash? Just let it work itself out. You don't quit your job though. Babe, you can't quit your job. You like working. I mean, like me. Let's just let it work itself out with me. But yeah, back at day 30, it looked like all indications pointed to a long, depressing career in the crane industry. Nothing was going on in general. So back then, everything was still just a pipe dream. Now I've had a little like smidgen of success. I've got a few people who enjoy listening to this podcast. It brings in a little bit of money. It frees up my time and it gives me leverage to use against my wife when she asks me to get a job. I'm like, hey, I can't work a job. I have people who look up to me. I'm the guiding light. I'm the North Star for the degenerates. If they see me go back to work, what hope do they have? None. If I can't do it, how can they do it? They at least need to see me stumble my way to some sort of success. It's not just about me anymore. It's about the community of degenerates. All right? No, she doesn't hassle me at all. But when we do get into a fight, she does bring up the old I earn more than you trump card. She brings it up early in fights too. We're not even fucking in a full fight yet. And she's like, I'm the one working here. I'm like, I'm working too. I'm bringing in some money. All right? I can't wait till I'm fucking earning more than her. That seems quite far away, but it's coming. It will be coming, and fucking I will be throwing it in her face. She will fucking miss the days when she was pretty much soul supporting the whole family on my pipe dream. No, none of this is true except most of the stuff I just said. No, my wife and my family are very happy with what's going on at the moment, but if I fucking don't lift my game, if I just stagnate at this stage where I'm at now for the next 3 years, then I'm just going to become like a lovable loser who has like a hobby podcast or some shit like that. I don't know. It's depressing even thinking about it. You can't stagnate. That's the main fucking thing you're going to have to take out of this. When you're in a relationship, when you're in a family, you can't stagnate. You got to fucking evolve. Whatever that looks like, you got to keep evolving. So yeah, I don't know if that answered any of the question. They treat me good. I have more respect in the family. I have more respect in the family than I did at day 30, all right? Everything is much better now than it was at day 30. Everything. I can't name one thing that is not better. Maybe the podcast. Maybe the podcast was better at day 30. Anyway, Shrive Dog, I fucking don't even know if I answered your question. To be fair, I can't even remember what your fucking question was. I remember it sounded fucking retarded though. So yeah, I hope that fucking helped. That'll do for today. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around. Head to Spotify, give us a 5-star review, or wherever the fuck you listen to it, give us a 5-star review. Hit me up on social media. I'm Boyle Comedy on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and that will do it. And I'll see you the fuck later.